show you how to test a side feed injector. So from last video, if you watched it, we determined the reason the car wasn't starting was because I had a bad injector. Now that's pretty rare. Injectors are pretty straightforward. They usually don't fail. If anything, they get clogged and or the flow rate patterns get all messed up. So basically, here's what I did. I found another injector online. It's not brand new. The other alternative is to buy brand new injectors, which is very, very expensive, or the alternative is to just get a whole new primary rail and new injectors, which is even more expensive. So what I'm going to do for now is just see if I can get this thing up and running, because actually there shouldn't be any reason I can't get the power I need from a 500cc injector, which is a stock injector. So what am I going to do to make sure this thing works? Well, last time you saw me put it in the actual primary rail, flipped upside down, squirt gas out the top. What I would like to do, since this is a used injector, is I like to clean it. And I'd also like to verify the flow pattern and everything else too, but more at my control, instead of having it all in the car spraying out gas. So what are we going to do? Well, first thing I did is I purchased a rebuild kit online, and actually I was pretty impressed. It comes with the caps, pretty much everything you need here to replace everything on the old aging, probably cracked O-rings and caps and associated hardware. So I got that, but I'm not going to mess with this until I verify that. So the next thing was I had to think of a way in order to get this thing to be able to be tested, right? So as you know from the last video, usually from a top feed, you can just hook something, make a little hose on top, spray some cleaner through it, pressurize it, run it, and you can see the output, and also cleans at the same time. So the challenge was then, how do you get this little screen, pickup screen, and this pickup screen to well pick up and shoot gas, or in this case, cleaner out? Well, here's the plan. We're going to take this fitting, which I found, which actually fits perfect. I can go ahead and place this in here like so. I can lock down this in place with the O-ring. I'm then going to say, well, I need to pretty much stop it from flying out the bottom. So there's another little O-ring here. So I found some hose. The hose actually will fit, the inner diameter of this hose will fit around this O-ring here, kind of snug. And then I can, of course, cut this to the right length so that I know that these lower and upper intake ports are open. And then I'm going to take this piece of hose that I cut off, and I'm going to put it inside of here and secure in place. I'm going to use some of this all-purpose adhesive. It's supposed to be really quick drying and pretty much cured within like a minute. Will this handle this without this getting rid of that? I don't know. But the idea is I should be able to actually inject this, test the injector before anything goes wrong in terms of the bonding. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a small hole in the side of this. And when I mean small enough for this, where I'm actually going to put a straw in there for the carb choke cleaner. And I will also seal that in place. So the idea is I can just simply hook the straw up to the can, turn the power on, pressurize it, and voila, there we go. Well, let's do it. Alright, so first thing is first. First thing I need to do is determine how much of this hose I need to actually successfully put on here. So let's go. Okay, well, pretty much it's done. I went ahead and drilled the hole. Didn't have to watch me do that because it's just drilling a hole. Fed the straw, sealed the straw. I just lubed up the O-rings so I wouldn't get any too much resistance sliding this on. I had to use some tape around the outside of this fuel hose, and so now basically I'm just waiting for this to cure up. It says it cures in 30 seconds, but when you don't do a bonding application, it can sometimes take a little longer. So I'm just kind of getting this kind of ready for to actually, do it. Now, all we're going to do next is, of course, this can connect to the feed for the carb cleaner. That'll pressurize. Then I can hook up our handy dandy injector tester, give it some power, and then we'll test it. Okay, here is the rig in all its glory. I just use a vise, held the injector in place here. As you can see, we have power. Now here's the good thing that we didn't have before. Listen closely. As you can hear, it definitely clicked, so that's good news. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the flow here on the can and then the pulse at the same time, and we'll see what happens. Looks like we're working. We have a working injector. So good news. Next step, I'm going to put this bad boy into the car after I do the rebuild, and then we see if it finally starts. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll be showing you the first start video soon. Bye.